Sodom was a vibrant city, bustling with life. Its markets overflowed with activity and wealth. However, beneath this apparent prosperity, darkness lingered. Corruption festered in the streets, hidden from view. Violence was a common occurrence, leaving many trembling in fear. Injustice plagued the innocent as power was cruelly abused. Moral decay seeped into the fabric of society like an unseen poison. But why would God destroy such a prominent city? This central mystery looms over the narrative. The story of Sodom primarily unfolds in Genesis, chapters 18 and 19. This city symbolizes a deeper lesson about divine judgment. Sodom is mentioned throughout Scripture as an example of demise and warning. Now, let's meet Abraham, a pivotal figure in this tale. He stands beneath a starlit sky. His gaze is fixed on the distant cities of the plain, where Sodom lies. A sense of urgency fills the air, adding weight to each moment. What had happened in Sodom that led to such dire consequences? As the camera slowly pulls back, Abraham receives alarming news. Judgment is approaching. The fate of Sodom hangs in the balance, and the answer remains just out of reach. We will explore these themes as we dive deeper. Stay tuned to uncover the truth behind Sodom's destruction. Imagine a world filled with injustice and suffering. Why would a loving God allow such devastation? This documentary delves into Sodom's story, exploring profound questions. We open in the ancient Near East, near the Oaks of Mamre. Abraham receives three mysterious visitors. Their presence is both inviting and foreboding. The sunlight bathes the landscape, highlighting the tension. The scene shifts, revealing the great outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah. The Bible narrates an urgent plea rising from the earth. This outcry signifies more than personal sin. It is a societal cry for justice. What does outcry truly mean? It reflects the suffering of the vulnerable. Sodom was a place of public immorality, where wickedness thrived unchecked. Cinematic reconstructions unfold, showing victims mistreated daily. The powerful exploit the weak without remorse. Corruption flourishes in public offices. We witness violence, humiliation, and relentless injustice. Then, we focus on Abraham, standing resolutely in a vast desert. He gazes towards the heavens, filled with trepidation. Abraham asks, "Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked?" The landscape darkens as he negotiates for Sodom. 50 righteous? Would that spare the city? 45? The stakes rise with each plea. 30, 20, or even 10 righteous souls. Each inquiry builds emotional tension. The camera captures Abraham's deep concern and humanity. Finally, it echoes. The judge of all the earth would do what is right. Hope mingles with despair in this haunting moment. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered layers of meaning in Sodom's fate. The outcry against injustice resonates profoundly today. Take this story to heart and reflect on justice in your own world. As darkness falls, two visitors approach Sodom. They look human, yet mysterious. This moment is a pivotal point in biblical history. Let's explore their arrival and the events that follow. As they reach the city gates, Sodom appears foreboding. The architecture suggests a once thriving society now shadowed by danger. Here, we meet Lot, Abraham's devoted nephew. He sees the visitors and feels urgency. Lot hurries toward them, displaying respect and concern. He welcomes them into his home immediately. In the ancient Near East, hospitality held immense value. Strangers relied on the kindness of others for safety. Failing to host guests was not just rude, it risked grave consequences. As night descends, danger lurks in the streets. Shadows stretch long, and the atmosphere thickens with tension. A large crowd gathers outside Lot's door. Their angry voices rise, creating a sense of panic. Lot's home becomes a refuge and a point of conflict. Unseen threats loom. Frightened faces peer through the darkness. Sounds of pounding fists echo against Lot's door. The behavior of the crowd starkly defies ancient hospitality norms. Genesis illustrates their actions as a violation of dignity and moral order. Lot's instinct is to protect his guests at all costs. Turning back to the visitors, the air grows heavy with anticipation. They reveal that judgment upon Sodom is imminent. Key moments unfold as we witness this historical tension. Visual storytelling captures every emotion, from fear to desperation. Now, reflect on the significance of hospitality. Remember the stakes of human kindness in history. Apply this lesson to your life, valuing respect and dignity always. Many people wonder about Sodom's infamous reputation. What truly led to its destruction? In this video, we'll investigate the biblical reasons. Our goal is to deepen your understanding of Sodom's sins. Let's start with Genesis chapter 19. This chapter tells us of Lot's visitors. They faced sinister intentions from the citizens. But there's much more to Sodom's story. Ezekiel chapter 16 verse 49-50 paints a broader picture. It describes Sodom's pride and excessive abundance. Here, complacency grows while the needy are ignored. Visualize a wealthy city in ancient times. Some citizens bask in luxury while others suffer. Marketplaces overflow with food and goods. Yet poor families struggle outside wealthy districts. Powerful officials accept bribes and gifts. Wealthy citizens exploit laborers for profit. Vulnerable people are pushed aside and forgotten. This stark contrast raises critical questions. What is the biblical principle of justice? Where is compassion for those in need? The narrative of Sodom goes beyond one isolated act. It's a reflection of an entire society's decay. We must distinguish between Genesis account and later scriptural insights. Genesis focuses on Lot's experience. Yet, other passages reveal much broader sins. Consider the issues of pride and complacency. Was Sodom merely destroyed for a single sin? Or did an entire society become corrupt? As we wrap up, we encourage you to reflect. Sodom's fate challenges us to examine our values. Are we truly caring for the poor and needy? Ask yourself, how can I promote justice and compassion in my community? Let's learn from Sodom's lessons together. Have you ever wondered about Abraham's conversation with God? This documentary explores Abraham's intercession for the righteous. The goal is to reflect on divine justice through Abraham's dialogue. We begin with a breathtaking view of the desert sky. Abraham stands beneath it, deeply engaged in conversation. The vastness reflects his humility and connection with God. He asks God if the righteous will perish with the wicked. His voice is filled with concern for justice and mercy. Will you spare the city for 50 righteous? He inquires. The camera pans slowly, emphasizing Abraham's earnestness. Or 45, 40, 30, 20, even 10, he continues. Each question reveals his deep care for the fate of the innocent. The cinematography captures Abraham's emotional struggle. His expressions reflect a blend of faith and apprehension. The sun bathes him in warm golden light, showcasing hope. This dialogue isn't rushed, each moment is carefully crafted. Viewers feel the weight of divine judgment's significance. Abraham believes that the judge of all the earth acts rightly. As we transition, the mood darkens, shifting to Sodom. Abraham's peaceful camp contrasts sharply with looming danger. Visual storytelling immerses the audience in the narrative. Now, the angels enter Sodom on a mission of justice. The atmosphere is charged, reflecting the severity of the task. Their presence signifies an impending revelation of God's will. The camera captures Abraham, watching the distant horizon. He stands in a moment of reflection, bracing for what's next. His commitment to intercession hangs heavy in the air. This passage illustrates that divine judgment isn't arbitrary. It emphasizes God's justice, intricate and bound by righteousness. Abraham's belief stands firm, echoing through generations. As we close, reflect on Abraham's humility and courage. Consider how sincere dialogue with God can lead to justice. Your understanding of divine justice may evolve from this. Now it's your turn to carry these lessons forward. How will you engage in dialogue for justice in your life? Remember the heart of intercession when facing challenges. Sodom faces impending destruction. How will Lot save his family? This documentary explores a crucial moment. We begin with Lot's urgency. He knows time is running out. The angels deliver a dire warning. Next, we see Lot's family in turmoil. His sons-in-law mock the warning. Their disbelief intensifies the drama. Outside, Sodom continues in oblivion. Merchants close shops, families settle in. Guards maintain peace at the gates. Shadowy alleys reveal flickering fires. A city unaware of its doom. Cut to Lot, desperately urging his family. He knows the city is doomed. With tension rising, the angels insist on fleeing. Do not look back, they command. This moment represents a final chance. Time is fleeting as judgment approaches. The countdown begins, the atmosphere thickens. As dawn breaks, a pale light appears. Lot gathers his family to flee. Finally, they exit the city gates. Lot pauses, glancing back at Sodom. The camera pulls away slowly. Darkness fades. Hope emerges with dawn. This scene captures faith amidst disaster. Remember the lesson of urgency and belief. As the credits roll, reflect on Lot's choice. How would you respond to such a warning? As dawn breaks, Lot and his family make their escape. They leave Sodom behind, emerging from its dark shadows. The ancient city lies in the valley, a sight from a distant hill. The atmosphere is thick with unease. A profound silence envelops the land. This tranquility foreshadows the horror about to unfold. We recount the biblical tale of judgment. Sodom and Gomorrah faced reckoning after all warnings ignored. The flames of divine judgment illuminate the skies, heralding disaster. Visualize the scale of devastation. Fire erupts, engulfing structures in an inferno. Smoke billows upward, signaling chaos. Debris catches fire, lighting up the horizon. Collapsing walls and frantic escape become scenes of despair. An immense cloud rises, shrouding the plain in darkness. Prepare for the city's demise beneath fiery destruction. Witness the ancient architecture crumble, engulfed by flames. The once thriving city now succumbs to smoke and fire. Focus shifts to Lot's wife, frozen in fear. She glances back, torn between past and salvation. A quiet moment, laden with the weight of choice. Present the biblical warning with clarity. Do not look back, echoes through the air. Lot's determination leads him towards safety. As the destruction intensifies, a slow transition occurs. From chaos, the landscape transforms into an empty void. Silence replaces the cacophony of ruin, a stark contrast to earlier chaos. Narration emphasizes divine judgment in Genesis portrayal. Repeated warnings went unheeded, consequences were dire. The balance of mercy and justice unfolds. Finally, the landscape remains, veiled in smoke. A haunting reminder of what was lost. Let this cinematic journey serve as a reflection. Engage with the narrative long after the documentary ends. Consider the weight of choices and the path of redemption. Have you ever wondered why biblical writers returned to Sodom? This documentary explores this significant topic. Our goal is to understand Sodom's symbolism in later texts. First, we introduce ancient manuscripts and scrolls. Visualize scribes writing by oil lamps, capturing history's essence. Historical maps of the Near East set the scene for Sodom's ancient context. Next, we'll examine Sodom's references in Deuteronomy. The text establishes the city's wickedness and consequences. Isaiah's lamentation reinforces Sodom as a symbol of judgment. Their rebellion and pride echo through Jeremiah and Ezekiel. Amos describes Sodom's moral collapse, a cautionary tale for future generations. Transition to the New Testament, exploring Jesus' teachings on Sodom. His words highlight judgment and rejection faced by corrupt societies. We then explore Jude's reference to Sodom. The apostle addresses sexual immorality and rebellion cautiously. Different interpretations arise about Sodom's message, which we must present fairly. Why do later writers frequently mention Sodom? Societies can grow corrupt, facing inevitable judgment if ignored. In summarizing, later biblical texts use Sodom as a dire warning. Its legacy persists, reminding us of accountability. We now transition from ancient Sodom to today's moral landscape. How do we measure justice and morality in our lives? Apply these lessons and reflect on society. What will your judgment be regarding our modern Sodom? As dawn breaks, Lot and his family make their escape. They leave Sodom behind, emerging from its dark shadows. The ancient city lies in the valley, a sight from a distant hill. The atmosphere is thick with unease. A profound silence envelops the land. This tranquility foreshadows the horror about to unfold. We recount the biblical tale of judgment. Sodom and Gomorrah faced reckoning after all warnings ignored. The flames of divine judgment illuminate the skies, heralding disaster. Visualize the scale of devastation. Fire erupts, engulfing structures in an inferno. Smoke billows upward, signaling chaos. Debris catches fire, lighting up the horizon. Collapsing walls and frantic escape become scenes of despair. An immense cloud rises, shrouding the plain in darkness. Prepare for the city's demise beneath fiery destruction. Witness the ancient architecture crumble, engulfed by flames. The once thriving city now succumbs to smoke and fire. Focus shifts to Lot's wife, frozen in fear. She glances back, torn between past and salvation. A quiet moment, laden with the weight of choice. Present the biblical warning with clarity. Do not look back, echoes through the air. Lot's determination leads him towards safety. As the destruction intensifies, a slow transition occurs. From chaos, the landscape transforms into an empty void. Silence replaces the cacophony of ruin, a stark contrast to earlier chaos. Narration emphasizes divine judgment in Genesis portrayal. Repeated warnings went unheeded, consequences were dire. The balance of mercy and justice unfolds. Finally, the landscape remains, veiled in smoke. A haunting reminder of what was lost. Let this cinematic journey serve as a reflection. Engage with the narrative long after the documentary ends. Consider the weight of choices and the path of redemption. Have you ever wondered where Sodom and Gomorrah really were? In this documentary, we will investigate archaeological evidence surrounding these ancient cities. Our goal is to uncover the truth buried in the Dead Sea region. Let's begin with a stunning aerial view of the Dead Sea. The vast desert stretches out, revealing jagged cliffs and unique salt formations. Notice the ancient ruins and excavation sites dotting the landscape. Next, let's explore proposed locations for Sodom. Tal el Hammam and Bab ed Dhr are key sites of interest. Archaeologists debate which location may hold the truth. Opinions vary widely among scholars. It's crucial to distinguish archaeological evidence from theological interpretations. Archaeologists rely on physical evidence, while theology often introduces faith-based ideas. Both perspectives offer unique insights. Now, let's examine the evidence of destruction layers. Some sites show sudden abandonment and fire damage. Yet, how do we connect these findings to biblical narratives? The challenge remains complex and elusive. As we dive deeper, watch archaeologists at work. They sift through pottery, study walls, and analyze soil layers. Each fragment reveals a story, but none offer definitive answers. Always remember, speculation can cloud historical accuracy. We must avoid presenting assumptions as proven facts. Each discovery must be carefully considered. Let's summarize our findings. We explored the Dead Sea region and major archaeological sites. We clarified the distinctions between evidence and interpretations. We observed the work of dedicated archaeologists. Finally, we pose a thought-provoking question. If archaeology cannot definitively identify Sodom, what can the biblical story still tell us? Consider this as you reflect on our journey. We encourage you to explore these ideas further. Let the mystery of Sodom and Gomorrah inspire your own discoveries.